So you're going to get to hear my little tiny intro. Hey, Facebook people, I am also on Zoom Live, so I'm double tasking now. And if you are going to join me in this, you will want a chair, some weights, they can be cans, and that's it, and your mat and your body. So we're starting with chairs so people can try this in their chairs. Let me mute all of you in my Zoom room. I think that this particular time is really about multitasking in really weird technological ways and improvisation and just doing the as is. So I have a chair. I'm going to back up so that I'm a little bit more in frame. Oh, and I haven't even, this is Zoom room. You're in my, normally I have an extra camera on here that is slightly better quality, but I think this camera you can see more of the room, so back and forth. Here we go. So starting on the chair, from here we're just going to inhale, lift and open, stretching out through your chest, opening your heart, opening your lungs, feeling the space around you, maybe in a little slower and easier way than we normally do if we were standing. So we're seated, lifting, opening, reaching out, feeling with your arms, with your skin, maybe with the inside of your body, what it feels like to be in your body today. Inhaling, opening, lifting, and reaching. And this time we're going to interlace the hands on top, and I'm squeezing my fingers together so my arms are trying to pull apart. So I'm creating a little bit of tension in that pull. And I'm just going to circle my hands over my head. That circle is going slightly behind me, so I'm getting a little into the back space. And think about kind of opening up the armpits, letting the scapula float around on the back of the body, and letting this whole circling motion move down into your body. So ribs and pelvis may be responding to that circling. You're not locking anything up. Trying the other direction. Hello, all my Facebook people. I'm Zooming and Facebooking at the same time, so it's going to be a little bit weird. The digital disconnect that we're all probably feeling we may feel like, wow, there's more of us here together, or we may feel like, oh, I don't know, this is weird. Most of it, I think, feels pretty weird. All right, hands on your knees. You're going to just curl, round, really opening at the back, and then arch. Lift, fill up your lungs, open your heart, forward high with the chest and lungs, and then exhale, scoop, round your spine, release your neck. Inhale, open, lift, lungs, opening up. Exhale, hollow and curl, release your back, round your spine, let your head and neck soften. Inhale, growing through the midline, lengthening, and then arching into the back space. So this is kind of, basically, this arch and curl happens in most systems of movement. And it's one of the first things that we learn how to do with our spines developmentally. We learn how to, usually babies laying on their stomach are starting to learn how to arch their back. So it's a great place to start. And curling in, there's that fetal position that we spend a lot of time in utero. Arching and opening, hollowing and curling. One more time, inhale, arch, open your chest, open your lungs, open your heart. Exhale, hollow and curl. So if you're just joining, hello, Monica Lou, love you. Ethan Mass, we're just doing kind of a more regular workout. What does that even mean? Sort of a gyrokinesis-y, dancer stretch, whatever else happens. I kind of like to say not Pilates, but because it's more free-flowing. I'm circling my ribs and lungs, my feet are really wide. I can feel my feet on the floor, and I'm kind of pushing on the floor with my feet as I circle around, circling ribcage, lungs, and heart. And change direction other way. So good to see you, Ethan Mass. Who is that? Karima. I'm probably saying your name totally wrong. I apologize for any slaughtering of names. Circling the other way. Then we're going to change it. We're going to drop the head, round the spine, roll it down. Once you go to your depth, you're going to reach out through your tail, like your tail is shining out like a big peacock in the back. Lengthen your spine and lift and open and come up. So head and tail. Head drops down. From there, radiate outward. Reach out through your butt, and then arch, lift, and open. And head drops down, rolling down, lengthening. Think of the lengthening not just coming from the head, but really coming from an active reach through the tail. Up, and one more time, I'm going to show you what that looks like in this. So I'm curled, rounding down, and then I'm reaching out, sticking out my butt, arching, lifting, opening. So decolumnizing the spine. It's interesting. I've read and heard and talked with a lot of people about the idea of the colonization of the spine and what does that really mean? And for some people, it's just our mind colonizing our body, having this idea that there's a sense that there is a separation. And for some people, it's like ancestral, much more like European colonization type stuff. And what were the Europeans wearing? Corsets. Yeah, they were colonizing their own spines, right? So let's go with an arch forward, arch, 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 arch. Drop your head around your spine, curl, roll it up, finding some fluidity, seeing what feels good in the arching and curling. If the arch feels good, if the curl feels good, if none of it feels good, just make it really small. If it's not feeling good to go big, go small. Wave the spine, or small arch and curl here is totally fine. Every day is a different day. Honor the truth in your own body. Last one in a big arch for me, going all the way down and coming back up. And so I did actually do gyrokinesis teacher training, but I didn't finish it through because I don't like following other people's rules too much. Opening the arms outside side. So I did I think a couple of sessions of it, but I didn't go through for the certification. So some of these ideas come from Julia Horvath's ideas in, when 15 years ago. And then a lot of them are just how things translate into my body. Side stretching. So with this, I'm also stretching my leg away. So let me just lower these frames a little bit so you can see better what's happening on the bottom. Michael Taft, Steve Miner, this is me as a normal person. Does that even exist? I think some of you already know. It doesn't. So side stretch, I'm stretching away. One leg is reaching away, and then the other side reaching away. And this leg is going straight along the floor. And I'm just finding that side stretch line. Sometimes it feels nice to move with your butt being supported. So we're just starting there today. Side and side, opening up. Steve Miner, Kate Vile said hi to you in the thread. I don't know if you saw that yesterday in glitter size. Aloha from Hawaii, from Kate. Okay, let's bring that in. And let's spiral. So we're gonna start, let's start small. Let's start with just the chest. So what I'm actually going for, as I say just the chest, I can see that it's totally not just my chest. What I'm actually going for is some really contralateral patterning. So just quick developmental pattern, babies. First pattern to really learn once we get beyond the sort of amorphous babiness of just being in a body, the fluid nature. First pattern that they start to really learn that we recognize is that upper versus lower push-pull. Second pattern, side-side, rolling. Third pattern, most advanced, contralateral. So I'm working that contralateral pattern for our nervous systems. That is really good juju. So walking, biking, not biking kind of because you're using it in your body, but running, swimming, use that contralateral pattern. So what I'm trying to feel right now is this diagonal through my body, and I'm letting it spiral from my hip to my shoulder, and I'm also feeling my head connected to that. So if you want to add your arms, it's I feel like I'm in South Pacific or something, looking out over the water. If you want to add your arms, you can kind of, and it's also kind of like connecting heaven and earth with a spiral, which is a Tai Chi. Okay, we're taking it further now. So that was just to warm that up. Now we're going to go for bigger spirals. And this time I'm going to twist all the way around. I'm going to turn on my chair. This chair is not a great chair for this kind of work. Those rounded edge folding chairs are really the best. This one's got these pointy edges and it kind of hurts. Okay, so we're going to take this a step further, and I'm actually going to back up so that I cannot hit that wonderful bookcase. So this step further is going to be, and you'll do this in your own, whatever feels good to you. We're going to add an arm circle, curling and arching, and taking that twist further. And this can go in any way. So it's kind of like a free-form play. And I've got this wall, and on the other side, a window to work with. So I'm playing with arm circle, I'm playing with arch and curl, I'm playing with spiraling more, working with what feels good in my body, and feeling the support of the chair. So for all my dancer types out there, and I am one of them, sometimes we crave that huge sensation. Go for it, but also sometimes try and find some more subtle smaller stuff, so that we're working with several different ranges of thinking and sensation. So we're not always just going for massive, but sometimes more subtle and more sort of fluidity, filling like the interstitial spaces, the little spaces inside, in between. Yeah, and if you have a partner, like your wall or your room, go for it. There's something, I don't know, sitting in the chair and doing these arch and curls, like I feel like I'm in some kind of, I don't know, like Liz Taylor costume drama that takes place in Egypt. I don't know why, it just makes me feel that way. Well, I know she was Cleopatra, so. Oh, yeah, so I'm feeling a lot of, come back to center with me for a second, and let's just talk for a second. So one thing that I'm really thinking about, and it's weird because I am kind of compartmentalizing the body, but I'm thinking about the 4 quadrants of my body, each one of these, if I split down the middle and then this way. And as I'm here, I'm playing with how those quadrants interrelate with each other, right? So like this is this big center. And when our bodies move in that contralateral patterning, more stuff is going on in our corpus callosum, the brain place that has, it's the superhighway where information is traveling back and forth. Am I right, Dana? And when we have more information going back and forth in the corpus callosum, our brains are more capable of processing. They're more adaptable, more accepting, right? So if we always stick to rigid movement, we aren't going to have the same kind of capacity to deal with existing. Because you know what? Life is always going to throw changes at you. All right. I think that's enough chair in that dimension. Let's stand up, turn the chair around. I'm turning it around. You probably don't have to, but you can see me. And I'm going to go hands onto the chair. I'm going to open my knees wide, and I'm going to play with freedom in my spine here. So arching and curling, free spine, and letting ripples and waves move through my spine from my tail to my head. My arms can do whatever they want. And this is really a play. If I stop talking for a minute and feel into it, certain things become very interesting. So hydrating tissue, releasing stuff, getting it all going. Michael Taft, Cleopatra, it is. You're still with me, I love you. So Michael Taft is a meditation teacher, and he is a good friend of mine, and he's doing a bunch of stuff. If you want to join his group, it is Deconstructing Yourself. He does a bunch of Vipassana meditation. He is along the lines of Shinzen Young, so he's written books and whatnot. Okay, so I'm getting a little more into my limbs now and shifting my weight around, and I'm going to start to let one limb pick up, and then maybe another one, and maybe at some point I'm going to go with a limb, 2 limbs, whoa! But just letting myself feel what it feels like to have the support of the chair and the freedom to lift a leg, lift the other leg, stretch an arm, change my position. But I'm doing this instead of being standing or laying on the floor in this kind of forward folded pattern. Letting yourself, yeah, beautiful. That looks wonderful, my Zoom friends. Let yourself play with it in whatever way feels good and interesting. So here, I'm going to start to get my feet going a little bit more, relevating, circling, shifting around, and I'm going to break the idea of not sickling, and I'm going to let my foot do weird things. I don't know if you can see it over there. I'm going to tip you down. Ruth Gilbert, Kenny Whitaker, Quinn Ferguson. Oh my God. So I don't want to spill any major beans, but in 4th grade, Quinn Ferguson was my boyfriend. Maybe it was 5th grade. Do you remember that, Quinn? Is that actually truthful information? That's the way I think it was. Anyway, circling in my pelvis. And if you feel like you need to get up, you have been down long enough, come up. And let's circle the pelvis here. So I think I'm going to put the chair away for right now. And circle hips. So femur head coming into your pelvis. You're hydrating up that hip socket. It's a ball and socket joint, loves round movement. And you're freeing up your tail as you're doing that. Change direction, go the other way. Think of letting this movement be led by your pubic bone and your tailbone. So pubic bone, tailbone, circling around, hydrating tissue all through your, well, really your torso, through your legs, through your feet, through your ankles. And as I'm circling, I'm not trying to lock my feet into the floor. I'm letting all those bones and muscles and joints of my feet take a lot of that circling movement. Go the other way. Yeah, and I am feeling, it's very interesting because I got one foot on the mat and one foot on the wood floor. And the wood floor has like, I really like the feel of wood under my feet. Like I can feel the grain of the wood. Anyway, so we're going to just work through the feet a little bit more, and just like in a sort of ballet point and prance, landing and pushing off. So for people who haven't spent time doing dancing or doing anything that would strengthen your feet, you're going to think that you're just picking up your knees. But I'm pushing with one foot and then I'm pushing with the other foot. So try that, giving yourself some more strength through your toes, through your arches. And if you feel like, whoa, if you need something to hold on to, grab something. You don't have to do this without falling down. If you're a little older, use the tools at hand. How are you doing in there, Zoom people? Do you feel like I'm disconnected from you? I feel kind of disconnected from you. You okay? Thumbs up? Okay. All right, let's shake that all out. And let's just do one more thing standing, then we'll take it down to the ground. So we're gonna do this arch and curl. It is going to be, oh yeah, well you got enough of my body. Arch, stick out your butt. I'm externally rotating in the arms, opening my heart, opening my lungs, and then internally rotating, dropping my head, rounding my spine. Inhale, head and tail back. Arch and open, exhale, hollow and curl. Internally rotate the arms. Head and tail reaching back, opening up, external rotation. Internal rotation in the arms, drop your head, round your spine, scoop your belly. Reach it back, open up, actively stick out your butt. Hollow and curl, tuck your tail. Inhale, open. So we're moving through a curl, a tail tucked position. Inhale, arch and open. Exhale, hollow and curl. And that curl, you don't want to spend your life there. That is like bad dog, right? Who curls their tails between their legs? The bad dog. So don't spend your life there. Let it be a place you move through. I'm just moving the chair out of my room. Unless, of course, you're into that. You know what? If you're into it, go for it. I approve of people doing what they want to do. All right, so let's take it down to the floor. I'm gonna just adjust this camera. I'm gonna take you guys down to the floor. Hey, Jim Brady. Hey, Ruth Gilbert. Hey, Russell Anderson. So this is more regular workout-y stuff with a somatic lean to it. So the somatic lean means we're just bringing our awareness into the movement. We're maybe being less judgmental and less body as object. We're not trying to work from the outside. We're working from the inside. Internal sensation, kinesthetic awareness, interoception, proprioception, all those interior, all those tools that we have to sense. So while we're down here, let's just start with this. Rubbing your hands together, just getting some energy. Come on, Zoom people, there you go. Weird, so be looking at two different places. Weirdly disconnected. This is an experiment, it may never happen again. It may happen, who knows? So now you have that energy in your hands, just take it and brush down your legs. Brush from your, brush it down. Doesn't have to be a huge hamstring stretch. If you need to bend your knees to brush down your legs, do it. Just feeling, so you're bringing awareness to your skin. And depending on how you grab that skin, like if I'm kind of grabbing and pulling my skin down. Then I'm gonna bring it back up and in. This is gonna stimulate lymph a little bit, coming in towards the body. That's a detoxifier. And the other thing is, you're moving your fascia, you're moving your superficial fascia, which is that layer between your skin and the more like muscle structure of your body. It's all interlaced. Okay, hello, Leslyn. Let's take it down to the floor. You're gonna stretch your legs out, hands behind your head, flex your feet, exhale. This is just a regular Pilates exhale. Neck stretch, exhaling chin to chest. Inhale, open the arms and release all the way down. So make this about breathing. Exhale up and inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, and make some noise with your breath. So A lot of times in life, people have been told to be still and be quiet. Try to actually now move and make some noise. Last one. We're going to stay up there, and you're just going to breathe as feels necessary in your face and nose and lungs to pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and relax. So it just occurs to me as we're doing that, I'm just tapping it out because that feels good. And then I'm going to bend my knees and knee drop from side to side. So I'm just releasing with a spiral. I'm not stretching in the opposite direction of what we were doing with the abs. I'm just getting some spiral activity in my body. But it occurs to me that that little pump that we were doing is not unlike the pump that would happen in your chest and lungs if you were crying or if you were laughing, right? That ha, ha, ha. It's super healthy for us. And I think that everyone I know right now is so stressed out because of the pandemic and being stuck in their homes most of the time. So we got to get some of that tension pattern that's happening around our hearts and lungs to release. All right, we are going to inhale. If you have a block, take your block, stick it in between your knees. If you don't have a block, obviously you can't do that. You don't need it. It's fine. You're fine. Inhale. Lift. We don't need all the toys, but sometimes it's nice to have them. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Press it up. And exhale, lower. I'm just unfolding in the hips. Feels good in my body to open the front of the hip flexors, especially after doing some ab work, even though we only did a little. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And we're going to go up. Leave your hands down. This time, press up. Make circles with your hips. I used to say that I wanted you to try and keep your pelvis really stable here and not let anyone fall. Like if your pelvis was a Ferris wheel little cart with the people in it, you wouldn't let them fall out. But now I think I want you to let the pelvis mobilize a little bit more. So if there were people, they might be spilling out the sides. If that image makes any sense to you, change direction. The little carriage thing on a Ferris wheel. Yeah, let it move a little bit more. And I'm not trying to like turn my butt and my back into iron. I really don't want that at all. I'm just trying to mobilize and have some movement, strength and flexibility without overworking. Coming into center, rolling it down, take your block out, and happy baby pose. So stretching out your lower back, bend your knees, let your happy baby be a happy baby. Inviting a quality of play and freedom and listening in. So you're listening to your body. What would feel good? And maybe not watching me so much, but sort of listening to the cueing so that you don't have to strain your eyes by looking at the screen the whole time. And then you're going to open up, side, side, and just circle your ankles, circle your feet. This may be up here for you. Wherever you are, it's fine. You may even have bent knees. That's okay too. Just work with what your body can do right now. And then from there, you can do this bending one knee and then the other and just rolling from side to side. So for me, this is a good massage for my lower back, which today needs it. And then come in and you're going to make circles with your knees. Circling, again, lubricating up that hip socket, greasing up the joint. And if it feels good to you and you want to lift your head up with that and then bring it down as you circle in, you can do it like that. If I do that, my spine goes into a really curling and then sort of just lengthening pattern. If I do it here, I get a little bit of arch as my knees go down in my lower back. So there's benefits from both ways of doing it. Circle the other way. Listen into which version feels good right now. And then release, and let's come back. We're going to do something with weights. So if you don't have weights, it's fine. You don't need them. If you have 2 cans, you can use them. 2 cans. How's it going up there in Zoom land? Yeah, excellent. Okay. And Fiona, I got relatives. I got 2 relatives, one in England and one in Vancouver online, or at least I did. Circles with your hands. So I'm holding my weights together. I have knock-kneed and pigeon-toed. So I'm not parallel, I'm in. And this is just to stabilize without overworking. I'm just kind of relaxed there in my lower body, but stabilizing my lower body as I'm circling my upper body around with my weights in my hands. And as I'm doing that, I'm letting that massage out my shoulders. So my scapula and my back are getting a little massage. The middle of the space between my 2 scapula. And going the other way. So I'm going to exhale as I come up and inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down, using your breath. And then coming in, and I'm just going to take both of them, the weights. I'm coming back to parallel, legs together, arms up over my head. Coming up, knees are going to stay together. I'm going to point my toes, just coming a quarter of the way up and going back down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to spiral. So I'm going to kick across and I'm going to come over. This can be low. Again, you can go a quarter of the way up. Legs go one way, upper body goes the other way. I never got high on that last one and was keeping it low. I think I'm actually going to keep low right now on this. So just coming past my shoulders, knees go one way. I am spiraling my body. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I really feel my ribcage, lungs, and heart opening as my arms go over my head. Exhale, cross. Inhale, down. Exhale, cross. Inhale and relax for a second. Put your weights down for a second. Open your arms out side, and just let your head weight drop. Turn your head from side to side. Relax your back. Relax your neck. Relax your face. Let it go. Shoulders and neck easy and loose. And then take your arms, let's use your weights for this again. I'm going to shift a little bit sideways. Take your arms up to the ceiling and just internally and externally rotate. So we're not trying to feel every muscle working super hard. We're trying to feel the bones mobilizing inside our body, letting the bones really support the movement. And I'm feeling my scapula moving around. So internally and externally rotating, nice spiral. That kind of spiral is going to be especially healthy for those types of people, which is pretty much everyone right now, who are spending a lot of time on the computer with their hands doing this. So we want to get that tissue in the radius and ulna, up through the arm, to have some diversity of movement, so it's not getting locked into patterns that are just like this all the time. All right, enough of that. Scapula also moving on the back, like I can feel my scapula going down and up. What's happening with the bones on my back is this. All right, let's come back. One more time, I want to just repeat this one and come up higher this time. So you're going to come up as high as you want, and then inhale down. Exhaling, bringing it up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down, exhale, rolling it up, and then rolling it back down. So I'm trying not to throw myself. I'm trying to roll it, working in a coherent manner. Last one. And then get rid of your weights. Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Rocking back and forth, rolling through your spine. If that feels good. If forward, backward doesn't feel good, go side, side instead. So I feel like it's really important for the tissue of our back to have contact with hard surfaces. And this is, I studied connective tissue therapy, and like the connective tissue, the fascia in our body is the interlacing, interconnecting factor that holds us all together. Without it, we would be like puddles on the floor with maybe some bones in there. So fascia is moving through our whole body. Let's do the side-side rolling. So, and we have big swaths of it up, coming from our lower back up into our upper back. Big bands that are predominantly fascia. Let's go just rocking from side to side. So you're going to open and then close. So that rolling was an upper versus lower pattern, and this is a right versus left pattern. So again, we're working the developmental patterns into the way that we're working out. The developmental patterns are the way that human babies develop movement. And they do different things to our nervous system. So we want to, it's like toning the nervous system if you keep cycling through the developmental patterns. Okay, and then from there, the great twist. You can do this with your knees bent, you can relax your feet, you can point your toes, whatever you feel like doing. Going from side to side. And if your back feels good, turn your head away from your legs. If your back hurts, go in the same direction. And if you feel like you want to and you have the space, you can do this with straight legs. Which to me is kind of challenging, but also feels really good. And I feel like it does something that's incredibly supportive for my core. And when I'm talking about my core, what am I really talking about? Like, what is core support? It's not just tight abs. It's when your whole body is working together. So that the front, the back, the inside, the outside, the breath, all of that is working in a coherent pattern that is supportive of your life force and your energy, not squishing it down, holding it in, right? Core support has this vitality of growing and shrinking and dynamic alignment, so our posture isn't locked up, but it's free-flowing. Let's flip over onto our hands and knees. And we are going to go with a opposite arm to leg. It's called bird dog. Out, in, out, and lower down. Out, in, out, and change. Out, in, out, lower, out, in, out, change. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging and more work, you can do a cat-cow as you're doing that. So out, in, out, and lower. Out, in, out, lower, out, in, out, lower, out, in, out, lower. One more time each side. Out, bring it in, reach it out, come down, out, and in, and out, and come down. And let's take it so that your butt is down on your heels. Arms forward, let your head drop down. From this position, and you may need to look for a second to see what this is, you're going to walk your fingers out away so that your shoulders draw up to your ears, and then you're going to pull. Oops, I think I have to do this on the floor. So you're going to walk your fingers out, and then you're just going to pull, drawing them down and in from your lats down into your back. And then you can bend your elbows a little bit, even firing at the back of the arm. Fingers walk out, shoulders rise to your ears. It's a place where my shoulders feel like they're living these days. And then I'm just engaging and drawing the shoulders down, widening. And I'm going to elbow bend a little bit so I can take them down further. Fingertips go up, 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 up. And then pulling down. If we were in a gym, this might be something like a lat pull down. Reaching it out and up, fingers walk away, and then pulling down and elbows widening. Good, and then coming all the way up. Yeah, I feel like this balance of the muscles and the tissue that pulls down, they've got some work to do because my shoulders are going up there, especially during this fun time where pretty much everyone I know is incredibly stressed out. All right, let's take it down to a forearm plank. How are my Zoom people? Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down, medium, good. So forearm plank. And we're gonna do one knee to the floor at a time. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's go parallel, parallel, twist under, outer shoulder, parallel, parallel, spiral, spiral, shoulder, shoulder, parallel, parallel, twist, twist, shoulder, shoulder, parallel, parallel, spiral, spiral, shoulder, shoulder, parallel, parallel, twist, twist, shoulder, shoulder. Last set, parallel, parallel, twist, twist, shoulder, shoulder, and take it down. And relax. Bend your knees, let your legs fall from side to side, let it go. Release your hips, relax your back, melt. Let your head and neck release. And then you're gonna take the tops of your feet to the floor. Stretch your arms out in front of you, and let's go opposite arm to leg. There's still a bunch of blue feathers all over my floor in here. Inhale, lift, even though I cleaned most of them off. Exhale, down. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down. Stretch it out. Soften and melt. Open and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And one more, up and down. And one more time. Let your legs fall from side to side. Let that massage out your quads. Relax your spine. Relax your tail. Relax your ribcage and lungs. Let your body become fluid and easy, melting, softening. And then we're going to take the arms out in front, regular old Pilates swimming. But let's do this with a pumping breath. So the pumping breath is like this. You can see how much my diaphragm is pumping on that. I think I learned it from, I think that's a gyrokinesis thing, but it really gets the diaphragm working in cahoots with the rest of your systems. And you should feel your body heat up from that. Feathers, off we go. And then inhale, lift the whole thing up, float it like you're floating in a cloud. A little freedom in the body. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. A little bit of free movement. Hands next to your chest, arch and open, drop your head, push back, round your spine, and just roll yourself from side to side. Let that roll across the front of your cranium, front of your forehead, and try to relax your neck. See if you can relax your sternocleidomastoid. So that is connecting from your jaw to the front of your collarbone, your clavicle. See if you can relax that. So you're going to relax your tongue and your mouth. Just open your mouth a little bit. Ooh, get that stupid face. And let that release. And then come back in and up. And we're going to go to a downward dog from here. So for our dog, let's start with circling. So your dog is going to be not a real dog. It's going to be a wide dog with bent knees. And you're going to circle yourself around. Wrist, ankle, ankle, wrist. Shifting your weight from limb to limb. Breathing. Exaggerate the breath. We really need strong lungs, especially with COVID going around, right? So get that breath support. More space in the lungs. More room for breath. More room for your own existence. And then take your feet back behind you and come to a pedaling. As you're pedaling, you can bend one knee, then the other. Look under the armpit or not. Breathe into it. Tail to the ceiling. And then lift your heels high, scoop your belly in, round your spine, roll it all the way forward into your plank. Knees down if you need to, otherwise 10 counts to lower down to the floor. Going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's do a baby cobra. Inhale up. Doesn't have to be your highest. We're going to go 3 times. You can take it higher each time. Inhale, lift, Exhale down. Inhale. Lift and open. And then let's take it all the way down. We're going to take it back up. I don't know if I can do 10 counts with my knees off the floor. My arms are kind of out of shape, but I'm going to try. So 10 counts to go up. Going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your head, round your spine, tail to the ceiling. And we're going to shift this. But first I have to dry off my hands. They're all gooey and sticky. So come down for a second and give yourself a break. Relax. Relax, Zoom people. We're going to do from downward dog, three-legged dog with your knee coming into your chest, up, cross it under to the other elbow, up to your outer shoulder. So we'll do that 3 times on each side, but we'll stop in between and give us a break. So hands on the floor. Hey, Kate File. This one's less exciting, but Steve Myers was here earlier and I said hello for you. We're going to take the right leg to the ceiling. And then knee into your chest. Inhale, poke a hole through the ceiling, three-legged dog. Cross it under to your opposite elbow. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, outer shoulder. So that was 1 set. 2 more of those. Lift and open. Take it into your chest. Lift and open. Cross it under. Lift and open. Outer shoulder. Inhale, 3rd set. Lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, poke a hole through the ceiling. Exhale, cross it under. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, outer shoulder. Inhale, lift. We're going to sweep the leg through. Take it into a big lunge. Fix your clothes. And then just moving forward and backward. Caroline Harvey. Forward and backward. Yeah. Thinking of staying in a line so your head is reaching forward, heels reaching back. And then left hand down, right hand to the ceiling. So you're spiraling. Opposite shoulder to knee. Push the floor away with the bottom arm, lift the top, and then release that hand down. Take it back to a plank and just walk your feet in. And here we're going to hang and shift from side to side. So after doing the downward dog thing, I always feel like I need to come back to neutral. So bend your knees, roll it all the way up. Just come up, shake out your legs for a second. Feel what it feels like to stand, have a drink of water, have a moment. Actually, don't drink much water because we're about to go back upside down, but have a sip. And then taking it back down to the dog. Now that you've had water, that should feel really good. It's one of those mistakes that you realize as it's happening. Left leg up to the ceiling, knee to chest. Inhale, poke a hole through the ceiling. Exhale, cross it under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, outer shoulder. Inhale, up, open. Exhale, center. Inhale, up, cross it under. Inhale, up, outer shoulder. 3rd set, lift and center. Lift, cross it under. Lift, outer shoulder. Poke a hole, reach, 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 and bring it through. Find your big lunge. Fix your clothes or not. Forward and backward. Breathing. Feeling your head lengthen forward, then heel lengthen back. And then right hand down, left hand up. Open your heart, open your lungs. Push the floor away. Breathe. And then bring your hands in. Take it back. Walk your feet in. Shift from side to side. And then come down onto your butt on the floor. And let's do cross-legged position, this side stretch. How's everyone doing over there in the Zoom? Yeah, all right, side. Opening up the side body, lengthening the spine. Breathing. Imagine that your body is like a bellows. And then circle it the whole way around. Sideways, forward, changing arms, other side, opening up on the top, sideways, sweeping around, releasing the back. You could do this with your legs out in front of you if cross-legged isn't a position for you. And open, sideways, and forward, and around, and open. And then switch it to the other side. Same thing, side stretch, sideways one way, and then the other. So my iPad battery is about to die. So after this, I'm going to turn off the iPad. I'm going to be totally with my Zoom people, circling it the whole way around. Inhale, open, side stretch. Let your head release as you circle forward. So take the tension out of your body here. Let it be easy. And last one, side stretch. Take it all the way forward. All of my friends in the Facebook land, my thing is gonna die. So love you and ciao.